Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of NC-17. Today is going to be the year in review, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. And today we are lucky enough to have again with us. They're gracing us with their presence because these people are awesome. They put out a very good movie, Mother Shucker, which is an NC-17 award winning. We have the team of Horrorland Media with us. We got Justin, the director, writer. We got Lee, who is also writer,
And
producer,
cinematographer. Yep.
and then we got Carl, who played Carl. uh, thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So I know you guys have been like you guys are traditional con goers. You go to as many as you can, and in going to those, I know that some are good, some are bad. Trust me, I've had my bad experiences. I've had my good experiences. What would be some of your highs for this year in the convention scene so far? Well, we're at the end of the year, so for this year.
For me, it was Scarefest because I love Phantasm, and I got to get the entire cast autographs on a very unique piece of furniture. I had a table made that is it's a circle. It looks like the spear, and it's balanced on a spear, and the top of it is Angus Scrimm as the tall man, and I had all the cast sign inside his figure. And the big thing was we got to take Mother Shucker to our first convention, and I got to act like an idiot and run around in that suit all over Lexington. And they'll tell you I made a great big mess out of everything. I left dirt and corn and crap everywhere I walked. And that for just the idea somebody wanted a picture with me or an autograph or for us to sign their copy of the movie was incredible.
That's cool. That's cool. Lee?
Great. I mean, Scarefest was our favorite show. It's the largest convention that we've been. And it's just, other than loading in and loading out, that's a pain. But other than that, it's a fantastic show. And it was pretty cool to be able to showcase our movie there. So I would agree. Scarefest was probably my number one.
Justin?
Same. I mean, Scarefest is great. But I mean, I also really enjoy the Nashville show that we do.
Yeah.
That of course would have been the brainchild of Mother Shucker, kind of where it all started. So that was definitely a high. But I mean, really and truly, we had the pleasure this year. Carl and Eric both they went to Atlanta, Nashville, and Scarefest. So any show we get to go to and be with them is always fun. So that's always a highlight. We always go out and eat afterwards, and I mean, it's just always a good time. So anytime we're able to do that is always going to be a highlight.
Speaking of going out to eat, that's how Mother Shucker came about. You guys went out to eat, and I remember.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. People still don't get it. I'm like, we saw a mask. They said, look at that mask. And I looked at it and called it a Mother Shucker. So it's a whole ass movie. In 15 minutes it was. And it's been probably one of the best things in my entire life is getting to actually say you made a movie.
Just to go on a personal kind of thing for myself, I'm a big fan of Sleepaway Camp. Always been a fan of Felicia Rose, and I was actually lucky enough to meet her last year and this year at Motor City Nightmares. And like she's really like a celebrity for the fans because she loves her fans.
Yeah.
So I would say that was probably the highlight of my whole year. But and then the second highlight, and this is not me, like playing up to anybody, but was meeting y'all and you guys letting me review your movie because I reached out. You guys said yeah, you could have said no because you didn't know me from Adam and Eve. So I appreciate you guys for doing that, and you guys are my second highest, high of the year.
We appreciate it. Yeah, you're definitely our biggest cheerleader, so we appreciate it.
And ironically, speaking of Felicia Rose, I've been friends with her for like 30 years. And she took a picture with me in the Mother Shucker suit with her holding our movie. So that's like a bucket list item checked off.
Oh, yeah. and any one of you can answer first, but what would be one of like your lows of this year, if you had any?
We could possibly find something walkable near restaurants, shops, whatever. I would just love to be able to do that.
Didn't have any real lows, I mean, per se.
Like, so that one has been tough.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't really have any.
My
We got some
inability
really
to
cool things
budget.
on physical media. If you're a physical media collector, I mean, we were able to make a movie. We've got another movie in the works and coming. I mean, 2024 was actually a really good year. If I had to say, I don't really consider anything to be a real low this year.
My inability to budget, that's a depressing. Set a budget of
That's all on you.
$200. I spend $800. I set a budget of $2,000. I spend $5,000. I need help and
Carl's
intervention.
low is when we are on the way to Cincinnati
Oh, no.
to go to Horrorland, and he says he's not going to buy anything.
Oh God.
He's not buying nothing. I'm like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
I did see the video where he bought like this really expensive
Mhm.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Among other things. Yeah.
Yeah. At first, I said I'm not buying anything. Then I said, well, I will, but I'm going to put a $200 limit on it. And Justin reminds me of this frequently that I spent more than $200 at the first booth that we got to. So
Yep.
I failed.
He's like a kid in a candy store. You can't take him anywhere.
You can't. Yeah, I'm like, if I've got $5, I'll spend $100.
Oh yeah. So my wife and I, we just got a new dog today, literally. She's like, I want a new dog. I was like, all right, let's go get you a dog. Didn't know we were gonna come home with it today, but yeah. So she's she wanted. All right, they already named it at the society. They named him Jim, and I was like, we should call it Mother Shucker. You know, my wife was like, we would, but he's already got a name. I was like, oh, all right.
Bless.
The question is, does he answer to Jim though? If he doesn't, it's open for discussion.
Well, I did call him Jim quite a few times, and he didn't respond. So
There we go. See?
I bet if you walk in and go, look, Shucker.
let's touch on Mother Shucker for a minute, because this year has been a banner year for independent film. Like, I've seen a lot of independent films come out, and in my opinion, Mother Shucker, top of the list. And that's God's honest truth. And there's actually quite a few people who do the award show with me behind the scenes, my wife being one of them. So when it got nominated by everybody unanimously for Independent Film of the Year.
Oh, see, that's incredible.
That's awesome.
That's incredible, man. You have no idea how much that means to us.
So going into making that with very little script, we've already touched on this. How does that differ from Twisted Gables having a script? To like, how hard was that?
It was very difficult compared to Mother Shucker. For me, it was easy for me because I don't shut up. That's all I do is talk. So it's easy for me. But it was, don't you agree, Lee? It was harder as
it was harder for everyone that was a returning cast member, and even for some of the new ones, because even though we gave them a script to go by, we also told them as long as they got the gist of their lines and the story was driven the way we intended it to be driven, they could also reword some of their lines if it was easier for them. So I don't think we're ever going to be a scripted, so scripted that they have to verbatim say what we write, because it takes the chemistry out of it to whoever they're talking to in that given moment. It takes away that chemistry between two people, and that's not ever what we want, because we're not by Hollywood standards, so none of our people are going to have the experience to get into and play a role where they can read from a script and it not sound like they're reading from a script.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually, I love the fact that you guys give everybody kind of like the freedom of doing what they want to do. I mean, to me, it shows not only one that you trust them, but that you guys are a tight knit group. You know.
Yeah.
I did have one question that was asked to me, if I could ask, and it was from my wife, and she said, "Justin, can you please review A Nightmare Before Christmas?"
Oh yeah, we can do that. Our youngest daughter loves that movie, so that is not a problem.
All right,
And
yeah,
that would be fun.
that's my wife's favorite movie.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah. That's one of Ava's too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's Sally for Halloween.
Uh, for Halloween, my entire family but me went for characters as Shrek, but whatever. So with the year ending and the year coming up, I know you guys said Twisted Gables will be out on DVD and Blu-ray in February. Are you guys going to be pushing it hard? Like even harder than you push Mother Sucker, or are you going to be pushing them both the same?
Pushing them the same. Honestly, well, that's my opinion. That may differ from person to person. We honestly, we've had some exposure with Mother Sucker we didn't expect, and I really, really, really want to just push the hell out of that movie. It was something it's so special to me. I can't even explain it. It's just for what it is. It's a goofy, silly horror comedy, but it is super important to me that thing succeeds, not just financially. It's just I want it in front of as many people as I can possibly get it in front of. The reason I've said 1,000 times, all I want to do is see people laugh. That makes me happier than anything in the world is to make people laugh. And I want to see people enjoy it. And I hope they do. Hope they buy it by the thousands. But I just want to get it in front of as many people as I can, just so they can go, what's this idiot doing? And just let us do our thing. That was where it all started for us. That's where everything began. And I think when people see the leaps that Justin's made from Mother Sucker to where we're at, and there'll be a lot of surprises when you see Twisted Gables. There's a lot of things that go on there that it's going to be a lot of surprises in that movie. But, and I'll go ahead and put this out there. I said it before. If I do 1,000 movies, he's going to edit, direct every single one of them. And the reason being, it looks just as good or better than Mother Sucker. I think people will be pleasantly surprised. But we're going to push them both. But I really, really, really want Mother Sucker to succeed first, just as to validate an idea.
Oh yeah. Actually, Justin, I got a question for you. Coming up with Twisted Gables, what was your mindset of going into it, and did you have it like clear cut from beginning to end, and did it go from thought to pen to screen the way you wanted it?
All the fun things downtown Baton Rouge has.
Is that for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Twisted Gables, one thing we've kind of left out of Mother Sucker because it wasn't really important. When we went to Nashville and we ate and we talked about Mother Sucker, I actually had already, me and Lee had a conversation about Twisted Gables. We didn't have a name. It was just, this is my idea. And we wound up sitting down, and when we talked about it, it became much more than on a first film what we wanted to take on. And Mother Sucker, Carl came and he was like, Mother Sucker writes itself. There's absolutely nothing that that has to be scripted. It's goofy, it's corny, pun intended, and it doesn't need a script. So we actually went with Mother Sucker first, and when I got to writing Twisted Gables, I wrote, I don't know, like first 10 pages, I guess, and then I had Lee help me finish it up. And I mean, it came off really, really well. We all four tried to write it in the beginning, and it just didn't work because it became very convoluted, because all of us are, while we get along, we have very different views of things. And so it just kind of became where it was like, okay, Justin, you kind of had this idea in the beginning, and this needs to be what you want it to be. And I'm pleased with how it came out for the most part. I think, we've already touched on it even on this episode. If I had it to do over, I would not have it be as heavily scripted. And another thing is just, I probably would have played with lighting more, because that is one thing that, in my opinion, really struggled in this one. Shutter speeds on camera. We had never filmed anything in the dark before. So like going out to the barn and shutter speeds on the camera. All in all, it came out pretty good for it to be a low budget film made on literally
As you
pocket
said.
change. I mean, it was made for literally next to nothing. So, I mean, it's still good in my opinion. But those are some things I would change, but I'm still pleased with it. And I mean, I can't wait for it to come out and for people to start seeing it.
And I think a big thing that hurt us too was the cold.
Oh gosh,
We don't know how much the cold affected the cameras, but
Yeah.
shit, man,
Josh, we
it was cold.
can't film if it's not extreme temperatures. Apparently,
It was
Either
112
extremely
for
hot
Mother
or
Sucker
extremely cold.
and freaking 22 for Twisted Gables.
And two, you know, one thing we really pushed this one. Mother Sucker was really a day shoot. It was in a cornfield. It was one location. And it was able to be done mostly in one day. We had to have a few of the cast back out for a second day to cinch up the ending. But this one we tried to cram everything into 2 days. But we've got
Kicked our ass.
about 10 different locations instead of this one being one location. Really branched out, which wound up with us and the cast having one day was 20 hours from start to finish just to film a movie, a low budget film. So, I mean, that's something we learned too. Like, we can't do that. You know, we've got to definitely take it and say, you know, we've got to have a more cinched up, tight schedule and break it down into having more shoot days. You know, again, shout out to the cast for that, because not many people are going to say, you feed me 2 meals a day and you gave me very, very, very little pay. I'm going to stay with you for 20 hours and get covered in blood in 20-degree weather out in a barn that smells like cow shit, and we're going to make a movie. Not very many people would do that. And I
In a
mean,
pair of shorts.
They were great about it.
no
I
one
mean,
complained.
they were awesome. I mean, we didn't finish up till like 1:30 in the morning, and they were troopers. We were all frozen. I mean, I was so cold. I was to the point I was already warm again. Like like I had already passed the point of being frozen, and I was
Yeah.
just I couldn't even feel it anymore.
Oh yeah.
And it was crazy. Like, we got home at what, 2:00? You know, 2:15?
To the house, yeah, about 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I stay at their place, and the next morning we're up 6:30, 7:00. Get a biscuit in,
Got
and
up,
the next thing you know,
ate
we're back
breakfast,
out in the
and
barn, breaking everything
back to
down,
the barn to
cleaning it
clean.
up. Just the three of us, have
Oh
to
yeah.
tear everything down, and it's rewarding. I mean, it's I don't know, you just feel good. You accomplished something, and your name's on it. Your names are on it forever. And
Oh, yeah.
we've made a hell of a lot of friends doing this. A lot of these people I never met, would have never known if it was not for Justin and Lee, and just the idea that I've become really good friends with a lot of that cast, and the fact that we all went through just absolute hell together. And in the end, I think people are really going to enjoy what they see.
All right. Speaking of the cast, so pretty much everybody from Mother Sucker is returning, correct?
Just
That's
about.
3 that did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But you brought on some new people, and was it easy for them to kind of just like come in collectively and join?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a cast read and at our house, and they came. Everybody but a couple. A couple were sick and couldn't make it on the cast read day. They ended up coming the next weekend, and we still did another one. And then, but man, like that night we filmed, the 2 days we filmed, you wouldn't have known that they weren't a part of the original group.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
mean, in all honesty, a lot of the new people that we brought on, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and there's an independent show that we go to, and a lot of them come from that. Because I mean, what better actor to use than someone who has to go out there and make you hate them or make you love them, and portray like they're getting the crap beat out of them, but also take care of someone. And honestly, that's what you have to do in a movie. It's a dance. You have to feed off of each other. You have to take care of each other. And so a lot of them, they all get along in the back. So I was like, hey, what about using this one? And they were like, yeah, sure. So that's kind of how we came to use some of the new ones as well. So, I mean, when they have that camaraderie at a wrestling show, because they're all together all the time, and then you bring them onto a movie set, it really worked well.
It does. And we had one cast member that was a last minute. We had a cast member that got 103 temp 3 hours before we're going to shoot. And Grace stepped up, had the script for an hour, and absolutely freaking killed it.
Mm-hmm.
She was there with us till 2:00 in the morning. never said a word, said thanks for letting me be a part of it. It was incredible. Once again, we are very fortunate. We've had wonderful people to work with. We've had people that let us use all of the sites that we filmed at, Cadillacs in Martin, Tennessee, let us run all over their bar, restaurant like idiots. And, it was great.
All right. Justin, being such a big wrestling fan, I have one question. What do you think of Raw going to Netflix in January?
I think it's a big move. I think both good and bad. I think you're always going to have that core viewership that wants it to be on USA or TNT or cable in general. I think Netflix being a subscription service, I think a lot of people, it's going to get a lot of new eyes on the product, but I also think you're going to lose a lot of the older people who have been watching WWE for 50 years that don't have Netflix. Especially in our area. I mean, there's a lot of boonies that you can't get internet and you can get regular TV. So I think it's both good and bad. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
All right. One more wrestling question because I'm a big wrestling fan too. WWE or AEW? Which one you like?
I mean, I gotta go with AEW. I mean, I've always liked. I like the athletic. I know that their storytelling for a lot of people is not on par with what WWE is, but they've also been a company for 5 years, and WWE has been. I mean, you've got creative writers that have been there for 20 years. And plus, growing up, my dad ran independent shows, and being in the area which we are, he was able to get Chuck Taylor and Ricochet on some of his independent shows. So I always have to go with them, and they're both there. So,
well, the fact that you were able to meet Ricochet, the dagger comes out.
he's great. He grew up, him and Ty Blade both in the movie. They were real good friends growing up, and I've known them for probably 20, 25 years of my life. So,
oh yeah. So getting like people who act for a living, the wrestlers, to come onto the movie, that transaction I would think is easy and smooth. But did they give any advice to people who per se haven't been in movies before?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah, not really.
Big advice. Yeah, Dan's our big advice giver. Just with trying to help people ad lib things. He definitely has a different, which Dan used to wrestle as well. And so, I guess technically that would be a yes to your question, but he doesn't wrestle anymore. So, but there's not really anyone asking for help, not in like a arrogant, like I don't need it way. It's just they're all cutting up and having so much fun that's not really anything that ever gets brought up. It just comes natural for them to bounce off each other, because even when they've never met, as when you're in a room and you've never met, let's take Ty for instance, you can't help but like him and hate him all at the same time. You can't help but laugh at him because he's just absolutely crazy. And it just makes everything flow, and everybody's that way. But I love picking on Ty just because it's Ty. So
well, and Dan too is so good about, he's such a strong actor that he can lead someone in a direction if they're not going there on their own.
Yeah.
So he's very good about taking hold of something and making it move that direction if it's not headed where he thinks it needs to go.
Yeah. We've definitely got some new ones in this one. I mean, everyone did great, but we definitely have, in my opinion, two really massive standouts that, wow. And I think you'll be able to pick them out when you see it. But we won't get into that on this. We'll wait for people to see it. But they were phenomenal, and two really big standouts for this one, new wise.
Yeah, and they'll be making appearances, hopefully, many, many more films to come. They were outstanding.
All right. Actually, here's a question that was actually asked from someone else. Horrorland reviews. How did that come about, or was that just something that you did just to do?
Yeah, I did it just to do it. So starting out as a new YouTube channel, our views are not great. We don't have a lot of followers, and we took a break, just life, and we took like a 2-week break, and everything went downhill as far as views. And I've heard it for a long time with anything social media, it's consistency. And so, what's the best way to consistently get more views and consistently get more content out? Short little reviews. I mean, we watch enough stuff. I can knock a review out in 5 minutes and get it posted, and we can post more content that way to be able to get it out to people and hopefully gain a bigger following. Because the more people we have follow us, the more people we get to get eyes on Mother Shucker and Twisted Gables, and the more people we honestly get to promote these shows to. Because while I have nothing to do aside from being a vendor with Days of the Dead. I have nothing to do aside from being a vendor with Nashville, Full Moon, Tattoo and Horror. We're still able to get eyes on that. Hopefully with our, people that we do have watch our videos.
We got about I think 9 minutes and 40 seconds left. So one thing I would like to say, again, I was telling Carl before you guys came on, thank you for shouting me out on your show. I appreciate that. But with NC-17, you guys always have a home here. Even if you just want to say, hey, can we come on and say you got a booger in your nose? You can say whatever you want to say. But I'm always going to be a fan. The show is always going to be a fan, and we are always going to be on your side and rooting you on in the corner no matter what happens. So that being said, with NC-17, we should also let you guys know that next year's NC-17 year awards,
I'm good.
give away a special award every year to like an acknowledgement. This year it went to Wendigo Pictures, which I got the shirt on.
Always.
Next year, I can already tell you, because me and my co-hosts have already talked about it, it will be Horrorland Media. You guys are already going to get the award.
Oh man,
Just a heads up now.
Awesome.
thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
But I also would like to say that when it comes to physical media, you have a shit ton of movies that I really do want. It's just,
you can hopefully you can shop with us if we get into Motor City Nightmares. So
I
get
would.
it all.
I told him, I said, we were trying to get in. We're doing everything we can to work it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I know that with them, they kind of start doing their things the first week of January, but it's always good to get stuff in before January, like accepting people and stuff. At least that's to my knowledge. But then again, I don't run it and I don't vend it. So
yeah. Yeah, I know they put the thing out on Facebook and just saying that they, to send the email, and we did. So I mean, we'll see. I figure it was probably, get it all in, that way they can work through it first of the year, like you said. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they have a wait list or anything like that. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll know something soon on that one.
Well, like I said, if you guys do come up here, I will rent out a theater and I will show, if I can, both Mother Shucker and Twisted Gables.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
if I can't do both, I will show whichever one you guys would like to see on a big screen. Yeah. And other than that, it's more along the lines of, I respect y'all for what you do, Mother Shucker. Like I said, it's in my Hall of Fame. It's always going to be in my Hall of Fame. Your guys' awards will be going out before the ending of January. You actually will get awards. The editing that you did, Justin, to me was second to none. Like, I love Hollywood blockbuster movies, but to me, it's always the independent scene, because this is going to sound like a knock on Hollywood, but it's not. But it seems like you guys put more love and more into the films than Hollywood. That's just my opinion, though. So
I definitely have probably lost more hairs than a Hollywood editor has. Carl was here today. He can tell you the struggle is real. I mean, you move one frame of film and it gets sound off and everything. And it's hard, especially not having come from anything like that. But I appreciate you saying that you like it, because I mean, that makes me know that what I'm doing, at least people are enjoying it. So I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome to watch what he does. It's and it feels good because we're friends. You have that sense, I don't want to let them down kind of thing. And I think it drives us all in different ways. But how the hell he sits in front of that computer, and I told him today, I said, yeah, right there, I would have broke the computer because I've been like, how in the hell am I supposed to change that? The bastard keeps moving. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing this.
Oh yeah. I am also supposed to tell you guys, from everyone who I work with that has seen the movie, we all now go around saying, "What in the hillbilly bullshit is this?" So, but that's just a show of respect that you guys, that we give you guys, because trust me, I've shown that movie numerous times already. And
well, I can assure you, Carl is already working on one-liners for part 2 because we've heard some of them already. They'll definitely make you. Hopefully, we'll have some more that y'all will be repeating.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a little special thing up here pretty soon, and as soon as we get ready, we'll clue you in on it. Just you're gonna need Kleenex, brother.
Stay tuned. Stay
This
tuned.
shit is off the rails.
We got about 4 minutes left. I'm gonna sit back, let you guys plug all your social medias, type it in, do what you want, and then once you're done doing that, we'll go ahead and end the show.
Yeah, I think Lee's gonna type them in, but it's Horrorland Media on everything. Horrorland Media, Facebook, Instagram. We do have a TikTok, and then of course you can buy anything Mother Shucker related, along with Twisted Gables related. Once that is available on it's horrorlandmedia.square.site. My email is on that website. If you want anything signed, or if you want, we do have posters. I'm not putting the posters on there for sale right now. Those are kind of convention exclusive. But should you want a poster of the cover art, we can always figure out a way to ship one. So definitely the email. It's I don't even know my email. I think it's horrorlandmedia@outlook.com. So if you guys, if you buy a copy, definitely email me. Me and Carl and Lee and Eric all, get a kick out of the email sometimes. Just review it, review the movie for us and let us know if you liked it, hate it, if you hated it, what you didn't like. And then of course 8X Productions is also on Facebook. That's the only site that we have for that right now. But 8X is where we keep all cast announcements and anything related to any of the films that we're doing as well. So
I do have one more thing. I'm sorry. So I'm ordering a new movie. I'm gonna order another Mother Shucker because I'm an idiot. I'll buy one to watch and one to keep closed.
I do the same.
My wife hates me. She's like, you know what? Stay in your room, whatever. But anyhow, when I do purchase it, if you guys can sign it, I would very much appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And my wife said she's going to be getting a Horrorland Media shirt, and I'm going to be getting one of those and a Mother Shucker shirt. So
there we go. Yep, we appreciate it.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, hey, I'm not going to lie. Your logos kick ass. So, but
yeah, it's I think I don't know. I think 25 is gonna be a big time for us. I'm gonna vend with them more. I've only done one show, and that was Scarefest, but we're gonna do all these shows together this year, and it's a good feeling to be doing something that people enjoy. And I'm thankful as hell with them that they even let me do this, because I mean, all I'm doing is in the way, really. I'm selling the hell out of Mother Shucker, but I'm a big dumbass that's in the way. They're like, how much are those? I'm like, I don't know. Hell, I'm trying to sell you Mother Shucker. It's developed a great friendship. It's irreplaceable.
All right. Okay. Again, I would like to thank you guys for coming on. This has been Horrorland Media. Check them out everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Go on their site, buy all their merch. If you don't, I will. One of the two.
And if you want it signed, drop us a note. Hey, we want this signed. And we'll get it. Doesn't matter what it is: T-shirt, poster, sticker, movie. The hell, I don't care. A rock, whatever. I mean,
all right. All right. So again, I want to thank you guys for joining us. This is
Thank you for having us.
Oh, Most welcome. It's been my honor. Trust me on that one. My wife said she's going to join us next time you guys are on because, well,
Oh, good
obviously
deal.
I'm going to bug you to be on again. But
Anytime, man.
but I'm going to go ahead and end it here. We got about 30 seconds left. I want to thank you guys again for coming on. Everybody, until next time, stay NC-17.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Consider